Hi, this is Dwayne, and I'd like to share with you today some good stuff you really ought to know about music theory. And today we're going to take up the Plagal cadence. Plagal is a big $2 word that simply means a chord progression that goes from the 4 chord to the 1 chord in any key. If you're in the key of B flat, the 4 chord would be E flat, and the 1 chord would be B flat. Okay, so a cadence is simply a chord progression that happens at the end of a phrase or the end of a piece. There's lots of chord progressions that aren't at the end of a phrase or the end of a piece, right? But a cadence is something that kind of wraps up the feeling of a phrase or a song. In other words, it's a final kind of feeling. And the Amen cadence, I think, is one of the two most important cadences. 4-1, and the other we'll take up on another time. But the Plagal cadence is simply the 4 chord going to the 1 chord. So if you're in the key of C, what's the 1 chord? Well, it's obviously C, isn't it? The C chord. What's the 4 chord? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the F chord, right? So it's the F chord going to the C chord. Amen. Now, it doesn't have to be in any given inversion. It could, you could have first inversion. That's an Amen cadence too. It's a 4 chord going to the 1 chord, but the root's not on the bottom. And it sounds a little different. But if you want a really classic Amen feel, then go from the 4 chord to the 1 chord. Okay? Now, in addition to just using the chord itself, there's some variety you can put in, and one of the varieties is you can put in some color tones. Okay? So, for example, I could put in a ninth, say, and a seventh. That's F ninth, F7 9, and then C, F7 9. You often hear those are called oh yeah endings. You're playing a song in the key of C and you end it oh yeah. You've heard that kind of thing, okay? But that's what it is. It's a Plagal cadence with a 7th in it, or 7th and a 9th. Okay. Another thing you can do is slide off the black keys for kind of a bluesy kind of sound. For example, hear that? I'm sliding off A flat to A as I play that F chord, and as I play the C chord, I slid off G flat to G. Amen. Okay. And also, you can use rhythmic variation, can't you? Obviously. Or you can go, remember Paul Simon's "Still Crazy After All These Years"? That's a Plagal cadence. We don't think of it as an Amen cadence, but it is. It's a 4 chord where I'm in the key of G, and that's a C chord going to the G chord. Okay. Now you say, well, that doesn't sound like that. No, that's because I'm playing it inverted. In other words, I'm playing the 4 chord, but I'm playing it upside down, going to the 1 chord right side up. Okay, so you can play these Plagal cadences in any inversion at all. Okay, if you just toggle back and forth between the 1 chord and the 4 chord, listen, I'll play that on C. On the key of G. Here's the 1 chord and there's the 4 chord. What if I just go back and forth? I've got a rhythmic kind of thing going, don't I? What if I include the 7th every other time? 1 4 1 7 4 1 4 1 7 4. You see that? You can do that in C. 1. That's F. Here's G. We could combine that with the 12-bar blues, couldn't we? We could play C. Okay, you get the idea. By the way, what I did there is I played the G chord, and then I just slid down by half steps, which is another subject. That's called a half-step slide, which we may take up sometime. And then go to the F7th chord, and then back to C. Now, I would suggest that you should practice these Plagal cadences in all 12 keys. Okay, and I've outlined them for you on there on the web page. Okay. This is a bonus lesson, by the way, that's only goes out to my students that have taken my courses, and so it's kind of like an unadvertised bonus. And if you like these, all you have to do is just stay on our list, and you'll get them from time to time. Now, I don't publish them in any given schedule, as a need arises, but you'll get them from time to time, and there's never a charge for them. So just a little bonus, and it's kind of till death do us part. I want to help you as much as I can in music, and so I'm going to stay in touch with you unless you divorce me, of course, which you can do by just saying unsubscribe. Well, thanks for being with me, and if you choose to stay with me, next time we'll cover a different kind of good stuff in music that you really ought to know. So thanks, and bye-bye for now.